Spotlight on SigmaGuard CSF. Many thousands of steel storage tanks are in use all over the world. They vary in capacity from a few cubic meters to more than 160,000 cubic meters, 1 million barrels. They may have fixed or floating roofs. Storage tank construction codes such as API 650 or BS 2645 do not take corrosion into account, except to include some extra steel as a corrosion allowance. Over the years, a strange situation has developed. Coating tank externals was quite normal, but the interiors were rarely lined, except when essential to keep the contents free of contamination, or if the cargo was highly corrosive. Experience showed that pitting and even perforation occurred in not obviously corrosive liquids, such as heavy fuel oils or crude oil, particularly when these products were contaminated with water and acids. Extra steel thickness added as corrosion allowance did not help much in the case of pitting corrosion. The bottoms and the first 1 to 2 meters of the vertical walls are the most heavily attacked when the cargo is crude oil, especially if it is sour. This also applies to heavy fuels and other similar oil-related products contaminated with water. To avoid losses and pollution, tank bottom repair has become essential for many companies. To meet the increasing need for improved tank bottom repair systems, SigmaGuard CSF has been developed. It is the latest in a long line of solvent-free epoxy linings from Sigma Coatings. The aim was to make a product which performed well and was easy for the applicator to handle. Apart from the much improved health and safety levels given by solvent-free materials, SigmaGuard CSF gives the applicator other advantages. Hot application is history. Standard airless spray can be used. Smell is reduced to hardly noticeable levels. SigmaGuard CSF can be used as a sprayable pit filler. It is self-corking, enabling high film build over critical areas such as edges and welds. Following application, the coating gradually penetrates the pitting. After 5 to 10 minutes, all cavities have been filled and the surface can be scraped of excess material. The fixed mixing ratio means no site chemistry. No modification of mixing ratios as is necessary with polyester and vinyl ester materials. Mixing is fast. The differing colors of the two components enables an easy visual check on correct mixing. The light color of the coating improves visibility during application and inspection. Yet another advantage for the applicator is the 20-day maximum overcoating time at 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This gives the applicator extra flexibility and enables easy repair after spark testing. For the plant owner, SigmaGuard CSF has additional advantages. Older types of solvent-free coatings tend to be brittle, liable to impact damage and cracking on excessive flexing. The beauty of SigmaGuard CSF is its flexibility. It is flexible in every sense. Firstly, it is a compliant coating. That means that it is flexible enough to move with the tank bottom. And that can be a lot of movement. Secondly, SigmaGuard CSF gives the tank owner flexibility in the choice of system. It can be used with or without reinforcement. Reinforcement can be by chopped glass fibers sprayed with the coating, or hand lay-up with glass mat. In situations where corrosion from under the tank is expected, this gives an additional bonus. Glass fiber reinforcement increases the hole bridging capability of the system. Pits and welds are the most frequent cause of maintenance lining failure. The unique pit filling characteristics of SigmaGuard CSF enable it to fill and seal corrosion pitting as well as to cover welds adequately. This was vividly demonstrated in May 1996, when gas oil tank 392 at the Fina refinery, Antwerp, was opened for inspection after almost 5 years in service. At an earlier inspection in 1991, severe corrosion at the bottom plates had been found. In several places, the plates were near to perforation. This had been caused by acidic water collecting in the tank bottom. Water in the gas oil and from roof condensation had sunk to the bottom, picking up acidity from the oil on the way. This had led to a critical situation. Several bottom plates were replaced, but the problem remained. How could the corrosion be stopped? Fina examined several solutions, finally deciding to coat the tank bottom and lower walls with the solvent-free lining SigmaGuard CSF. In May 1996, the tank was drained, cleaned and inspected. An exciting moment for the owner, applicator and coating supplier. This area on a heavily pitted plate was cleaned for inspection. Close-up examination showed how, during application, the coating had penetrated and sealed the pits. Almost 5 years immersion in gas oil and acidic water had had no effect whatsoever on the integrity of the coating. After application and curing of the coating, spark testing had been carried out to identify defective areas. The few defects found were then patch repaired. This area being inspected was a heavily pitted plate on which 2 repairs can be seen. All repaired areas showed no problems. This 10-meter-long weld was cleaned for close examination. The coating was in such good condition that it might have been applied the day before. So, the result after nearly 5 years in service? Perfect. Pits remained sealed, and the coating was in exactly the same condition as when the tank was refilled after application and curing. This application clearly demonstrated that where corrosion from underneath the tank was not a problem, which was the case at this Fina site, the system performed very well without the need for glass reinforcement. The ease of cleaning of SigmaGuard CSF enabled tank cleaning time before inspection to be reduced from 3 weeks to 2 days. This means a big cost saving at scheduled tank inspections. Additionally, during this inspection, the advantage of a light-colored, easily cleaned coating was highlighted. This video could not have been made if the tank had been lined with a traditional black coal tar epoxy coating. Up to now, several hundreds of land storage tanks in the USA, Europe, South America, the Far East, the Middle East, Africa, and Australia have been successfully coated with SigmaGuard CSF. So, to repeat the benefits of this system. High performance, unique pit-filling characteristics, stops pitting corrosion, flexes with the tank bottom, does not shrink, convenience, fast cleaning and inspection, application by standard airless spray, minimal smell, 20-day maximum overcoating interval, fixed mixing ratio, no site chemistry as with polyester and vinyl ester. Cost effectiveness, big reduction in cleaning cost, greatly reduced inspection cost, reduced long-term tank maintenance cost. Safety, light color, good visibility. Solvent-free, reduces fire and explosion risk. So, the battle to make solvent-free linings as easy to handle as traditional solvent-containing coatings has been won. What future developments can we expect? Well, perhaps a new generation of high-performance solvent-free linings for severe service conditions. But that's a subject for a future video.